I thought that the most significant issue was that Corbyn was Hitler incarnate. Very strange to me that the absolute baboon that is Boris Johnson and the Tories are still, you know, relatively well off, and that Labor lost ground, despite the fact that they were so sure that this is what fucking people cared about. They blamed the by-election loss in Hartlepool on Corbyn, despite him winning it the last 2 elections. I just, I don't understand. I don't get it. I thought like we were going back to the Blairite way of doing things, and that was going to be good, bruv. That's actually going to be fucking good. The absolute state of Labour, bruv. Hartlepool. What? Hartlepool? What the fuck? I don't fucking understand it, bruv. I don't fucking understand it, bruv. Labour anti-Semitism is the only fucking thing I cared about. It's the only fucking thing I cared about, bruv. So what the fuck are we doing now? Right? What the fuck are we doing? How the fuck did this happen? I was reading all the fucking takes coming out of Guardian and coming out of every fucking outlet, bruv. Made it seem like this was the biggest problem. Turns out fucking centrism is not actually helping a fucking Labour, bruv. Starmer literally has no presence. I'm a Brit and nobody has any idea who he actually is. Fake. Yeah, I mean, he's just fucking... They just slapped him on. They just slapped him onto that position. And their hyper focus was like, even then it was like fucking punishing Corbyn. It is so stupid. New voting intention among healthcare workers. What? I don't know how reliable this is. Nursing Notes UK? No fucking way, dude. No fucking way, dude. How? How? Do you have a take on the Northern Independence Party, Demsoc Party pushing for the North to leave the United Kingdom? It's great, dude. It's great. Boy, bruv, the Labour Party's twiddling my balls with the healthcare workers. Voting intention among healthcare workers went from healthcare workers in the 2019 election voted 82% for Labour, 6% for Conservatives. And now it is 42 to 32. That is a gigantic fucking... It's a gigantic fucking drop off, dude. I'm sure there's other reasons for it, but in the middle of COVID too, that's nuts, dude. That's mental. That's fucking mental, okay? I just want to say, you got a fucking license for that, bruv. In the UK, are SOCDEMs more leftist than Labour? Is this because their vaccine rollout, you think? I don't know. Maybe there was there a pay increase? Is that why? Really good thread from Owen Jones about Labour loss in the North. But even Owen Jones was like extremely critical. See, the problem is we talk about identity politics, right? Here, we'll cover this for now, okay? We talk about identity politics and like how it gets weaponized against the left regularly by centrists and how it is so successful. And what happened with Corbyn was a great example where like it didn't matter if you fucking believed he was like legitimately anti-Semitic or not, okay? And he wasn't fucking legitimately anti-Semitic. I've already talked about it. That is like my fucking red line and like the bare minimum metric for whether I consider you to be like at least somewhat reasonable as a leftist is like if you followed along with like the smear campaigns against fucking Corbyn or Ilhan Omar, the exact same smear campaigns that were also launched against Bernie, but it didn't even need to, that it didn't stick. But also on top of that, like it didn't need to happen. But for me, it was it was like, do you believe this stuff? But it didn't matter if people thought Corbyn was like legitimately an anti-Semite or not. A lot of people actually did. Like British Jews were genuinely terrified, according to poll results. Nice, like it was like an insane number. I think it was like 2/3 of British Jews said that they would leave if Corbyn became if he won the election, if Labour won the election. And it was an insane, like it was an insane thing, because like this is all the fucking media, which is very reactionary and very organized in the UK, talked about. But even the Guardian and the responsible socialist journalists like Owen Jones still got caught up in that fucking manufactured consent, and we're still like criticizing Corbyn and saying shit like, no, it is actually unacceptable, and furthering along the narrative that he's like a fucking anti-Semite. And the thing is, like, the really sad thing that is the reason why it's so really successful is because if the only thing you talk about when talking about Corbyn is not policies, is not what he can do, not fucking Boris Johnson's like problems or anything like that, not like the Tory administration and austerity measures that have like crippled the fucking NHS. If the only thing you talk about is like Corbyn anti-Semite, then that you have effectively dismantled every other argument. You don't need to talk about anything else. You don't need to talk about anything else but Corbyn's anti-Semitism. And all he's going to do in that circumstance is try to deflect or try to fucking push back and try to fucking tackle those criticisms. So you get caught up in a mountain of shit, and you always have to address that. So then you can't have a conversation about anything else. And that's what the most successful, that was the, yes, Owen Jones was for Corbyn, but even he fucking engaged in the manufactured consent. That's what I'm saying. And he was trying to make that argument in the middle of a smear campaign, so people took it the wrong way. Yeah, there is very real anti-Semitism in the UK. Oh, yeah. But as far as what I saw, okay, with my limited interactions with British leftists and whatnot, as far as what I know about anti-Semitism, that island is not only turfy, but super fucking anti-Semitic, okay? There's a lot of anti-Semitism in the UK, and adjusted to the entirety of the public, the Labour Party had less anti-Semitism, like significantly less anti-Semitism, than the rest of the fucking country. There's a lot more Islamophobia. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's just the norm. The Islamophobia is just the norm, obviously. Kebab, bruv. What are you trying to do, bruv? You want to fucking make this into a Islamic Republic, bruv? So they took a guy who is like way too nice for his own fucking good, and turned him into this goddamn villain. And it's crazy to me. Okay. Anyway, it's very, very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. I have Islamic ray guns. Responsibility for the Hartley pool. Is that how you say it? I don't fucking know. Hartlepool catastrophe. It is a catastrophe. Belongs to with the Labour leadership. In 2015, Labour won 35.6% of the vote, less than 2019. In 2017, Labour won 52.5%. Even in the 2019 disaster, Labour won 37.7. In 2021, Labour won 28.7. The argument, Labour only won because the Brexit party split the vote in 2019, is completely disingenuous. In 2015, UKIP won a higher share of the vote than the Brexit party. In 2017, many of those UKIP voters defected to Labour, hence Labour won over half the vote. If people who voted UKIP in 2015 could vote Labour in 2017, why did Labour fail to win over Brexit party voters in 2021, especially given Brexit is no longer the main issue? It gets worse. Labour has lost many people who voted for it during the 2019 disaster. Is Labour partly the victim of long-term trends? Absolutely. But given Labour in 2017 managed to reverse that trend in Hartlepool and winning the biggest majority since 2001, those trends are clearly not irreversible or inevitable. Not actually about whether Labor should be more left-wing. Most voters don't think of terms of left and right. In 2017, Labor offered a vision that inspired millions. Was it enough to win? No, obviously, but it was clearly far more effective than the current approach. The current approach of Labor resembles the Democratic Party to me. Okay, the American Democratic Party is incredibly similar to the Blairite neoliberal Labor Party. Okay, it's like they're cucks. They're Democrats. But the problem on the other side, like going to the fucking center, will at least like win you favor from the largely reactionary and largely fucking right-wing British media empire that's owned by a reactionary Australian. Okay, like they won't fucking attack you like they did with Corbyn, but then also you're not as popular in with the public because you don't have identifiable grievances that you can launch policies off of. So that's what it is. It's not like I'm not one of these out of touch people who says stuff like,
this is super random.
I'm not one of these out of touch people who like hyper focuses, like laser focuses on specific grievances, or says stuff like, oh, if someone was a out and about communist and they would like magically win every fucking voter. I'm not saying that at all. Or I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, well, it's because they went woke and went broke or anything like that. I feel like all of those criticisms are fucking idiotic. One of the most significant problems was that Brexit was the key issue, and Corbyn was stuck between a rock and a hard place and did not demonstrate leadership. What he should have done there, as leaders are supposed to do, is broadly define their vision and whip his own party and his own membership within his own party into a unified goal. And he wanted to have his cake and eat it too, but he was forced to be in that situation where he had actual fucking leftist Brexit fans, and he also had a lot of people who were not a fan of Brexit for obvious reasons and wanted to remain in EU. So he could not fucking take or in his mind, he tried to make the most of it and basically went kind of centrist during the Brexit shit. Not even kind of centrist. He went centrist during the Brexit shit. And that was the reason why I think he suffered losses. Not because he was far too left, not because he was far too woke, none of that shit, okay? That's the issue. The real big issue, 15-year paying Labor member actively involved in local party. I couldn't tell you what the Labor Party policies are now. No, you can, Adnan. The most important fucking Labor Party policy is criticizing the Corbyn commandants, I guess, and those who were Corbynites who were fucking pro-Palestinian liberation. That is literally the only tangible policy position that I, as someone who admittedly doesn't follow this stuff closely, can fucking tell you. And that is insane to me. This notion that people would only care about that and only fucking talk about that and only care about that is so psychotic to me. Okay? So psychotic. Like, oh, thank God. Now I'm definitely going to go vote Labor. Okay, so then Labor, as things stand, is offering no vision whatsoever to the people of the country. What reason is it given people to vote for them? Meanwhile, the Tories have fused Brexit-inspired populist nationalism with strategic investment. It's getting a clear run with no alternative. The Labor right are now arguing that even as Labor does far worse than Jeremy Corbyn ever managed, that the party needs to define itself against the left even more. The Labor right have no vision, no ideas, no popular policies. Their cupboard is completely bare. Labor has to offer a vision that inspires people to vote for it in a time of crisis. If Keir Starmer cannot offer that vision, then he needs to reconsider his position. Straight up. It is in a fucking... It's in a death spiral at this point. And they are doing what the Democratic Party did, which is, no. What we need to do is go more to the right. And by the way, the irony, of course, is that the Democratic Party in America, however, is literally doing the opposite of what they used to do, what they did under the Obama administration, and actually moving a little bit more to the left on certain on key policy issues, which I'm going to actually get to right now because this is the most important story of today. The job numbers came out for April, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, which sounds very official and like it's a fucking government entity, even though it's not, is losing their fucking minds. So we are going to talk about that right now. People, this is like, I think this is probably one of the more important stories that will define the next couple of months and what the
past full
labor couldn't beat this man. Okay, let's watch that first. Jesus Christ, what is this?
You are stinky.
Okay, this is what the fuck is this? What's this guy doing? Hold on, I gotta grab something real quick. Like, I can see why someone would vote for this guy. They're like, yeah, he's fucking cool, dude.
Let me see that juicy dumper.
I've long held the belief that Pakistani and Indian people have the best TikToks on the internet. If you watch me for a long time, you know this already. And honestly, like, it's demonstrated once again right here. Okay? Straight up. If you guys have ever watched, like, we should probably do that later today, like Indian TikToks. Oh my fucking God, dude. Have you ever seen like the amount of emotion and it's like Darman on steroids, okay? If Darman had a liberal usage of slow motion, yeah, TikTok is banned in India, whatever, the new Mojo, I think it's called. Right. The Indian TikTok is now called Mojo, right? Isn't that what it is? It's so fucking good. Is it Mojo? Am I saying it right? I don't know what it is, but it is like, it is straight up I don't know what it is, but it's the best. It is some of the best things that I have ever seen. It's like every relationship has to have slow motion. Like, there's always twists and turns in a 5 minute, or not even a 5 minute, in a 60-second TikTok clip. There's like 8 different twists that occur, all happening in fucking slow motion with to like some Indian trap music. It's fucking dope. So it is not surprising that this guy was able to put so much passion and so much while using such little words.
What is your favorite barnacle chat?
Here's literally a British YouTuber, Nico Omilana, who's prank running for mayor of London. Just shows how the UK elections are a shit show.
Best policy fun channel.
This guy fucking killed it, dude. Anyway, so I'm not gonna go back. If there isn't at least 5 twists and 10 slow-mo zoom-ins, is it worth watching? With like dudes crying. Extremely manicured dudes. Like, I've never seen eyebrows and hair. Like, hairline so sharp, you can fucking cut your eyes just by staring at it. Okay? Hairline and beard lines so fucking sharp, I've never seen that in my entire life. Anyway, so you missed it? What? Oh, there's a penis there? Suck dick. So Corbyn had to deal with PLP and the Blairite Labour MPs actively sabotaging him from the very start of his tenure as a leader. Those MPs were devastating when Labour did far better than they expected in 2017. And even then, they didn't get behind him. Yes, I know. We talked about this on the broadcast before. You mean like this one? No, that's not a TikTok. That's just like... Oh, but like TikToks do resemble this, yes. Bro, I swear to God, I shouldn't be showing this to JoJo fans because they're gonna become. I mean, or maybe I should show this to JoJo fans because like now they're all Indian Bollywood movie fans now.